Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So basically today we are going to talk about AWK or awk command, which is a command line tool basically used for text processing as well as we can say for manipulating data. So basically in order to study this command we are going to implement those commands actually on the terminal. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get started. So let's start with the simple commands. Okay, so in this directory we have two different files, that is data as well as info.txt. We are going to work on both of these files as per the convenience. Okay, so first of all we will play with data. Okay, and AWK, this is what the command starts with. So basically AWK as a whole, it basically stands for AHO, then W, Weinberger, and the K stands for the Kernighan. Okay, so basically these are the names of the people who have worked with this particular command. Okay, it's nothing other than that. Okay, and now if I print, I can just go for print, that's it. Okay, enter, and you can see the entire file over here. Now you will say that the same procedure can be done with the help of cat as well. The same result can be achieved, right, with the help of cat, but with the help of AWK we have additional what we say functionality as well. Okay, so with AWK, if I go for like print $1, suppose I want to print the first column as well as the second column, so what I'll do is just ask them to do this, to print first and second and the file name, and over here you will be able to view it. Now there's no space over here because I haven't added comma over here, so you can add a comma and it will add a space for you as well. Okay, so in this way you can work with this particular functionality. Now there are two more concepts that we are going to work with in this particular video. Okay, so browser. Okay, now basically we are going to learn two terms over here, NR as well as NF. So basically NR keeps the current count of the number of records, or we can also say the number of rows. Okay, and NF basically keeps the count of number of fields in a record. Okay, now you can see, suppose this is the grid. Okay, and over here the number of rows, so it will keep the current count, like the first one is 2, 3 and so on. Okay, whereas NF, what will it do is, in this particular record how many fields are there, like suppose X is there, 0 is there, F is there. Okay, so here, over here there are 4 different fields, right, or we can say 3 different fields if we exclude this. So there are 3 different fields over here, so it will keep the count like this. For suppose over here it's like P, U, only these two, then it will keep it as 2. So in this way NF works, in this way NR works. NF will keep the field, the number of fields in that particular record will be kept by the NF. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you, and as we go and execute these commands it will be more clear. Okay, So let's go to the terminal once again. Okay, now let me execute a command for this particular NR. Okay, say date. Fine. So now you can see that it has printed the current count of that particular row. Okay, similarly if I go for NF as well, now it is going to count. Okay, so let me show you this data as well. So over here you can see that each line has got 1, 2, 3, 4. So each line has got 4 fields over here. So this is what is being calculated over here in this NF. Okay, so I hope it is quite clear like how they function. Now if in case you want to print the last column, then in that case what we can do is we can go for this particular command. Print the last column, NF and date. So it is going to print the last column. So this works that way. Okay, now there is one more command. Let's see how this works. $0 is for the whole line. Okay, the whole row indicates this. So it is going to give me the count. Okay, so before this whole line was printed by this particular $0, and this NR is what we can see over here. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what you can see over here, right? So this is coming from NR, that is number of records. Okay, so in this way you can count the number of records present, okay, in your file. I have one more thing to discuss with. So basically if you want to print a group of lines or a chunk of this particular file, for example like from 3 to 5 or from 1 to 4 or from 1 to 3 or from 2 to 4, like this, if you want to view your file, then what you can do is you can go for AWK, and in this you will be starting with NR equal to suppose I want to print from 2 to 5. Okay, so I'll go for NR equal to 2, okay, comma NR equal to 5. Fine, and then we are going to print just the column 2 of data. Okay, and enter. So over here you can see that from this particular 2 line it just printed the values of the second column, right? So the second column in the sense Gauri, Tony, the name column in fact. Okay, so these will be printed from 2 to 5. Now if I want from 2 to 4, I don't want till 5, okay, then I can just enter it over here and you will get those values with respect to the given input. Okay, so this is quite interesting. Also if you want to have hyphen or if you want to customize it a bit, okay, like for 1, okay, for the first one you want to add hyphen or we can say colon and then print the names that are present over here, then in that case how we can do it? AWK, okay, then over here print nr. Within this we have got colon, okay, and then dollar, let's say 2, okay, and data, enter. So now you will see that 1 colon name, 2 colon Gauri, 3 colon Tony. So in this way you can add colons or dash or anything that you want to add in front of this with the help of this particular string in between, okay. So this can also be done. Now again we can also add conditions. So we have how many lines over here? 5 different lines, and if I want to know the length of the largest line, so how are we going to do that? So let me show you first it over here, okay. So to have a clear this thing, this is AWK, okay. Then what we will do is we are going to use if command. Length of $0, if it is greater than max, then max is equal to length of $0, okay, end print max and whatever the file name is, okay. So in this way you will be able to find or print the maximum length of your particular record, okay, fine. So let's try to implement this, okay. So it is AWK. Let's place it in 2 curly braces. Let's say end, then another curly brace, okay. So if the length of $0 in the sense the complete line is greater than max, okay, if it is greater than max, then close this bracket, okay, and mention max is equal to length of $0, fine. Then you will be printing max, print max, and end with a colon, sorry, this one, and data. So it gave me the maximum length, present maximum length of a record, right? So it is giving me this particular output, fine. So this is how it is working. It might feel overwhelming in the beginning, but as and when you practice more and more, it will be more clear, okay. So there are minute details. So it is checking from top to bottom, like till end. It is searching, it is checking, like whether if it is greater than max, then assign it to the max. If it is not, then leave it. It won't be, if the condition is not matching, it won't assign this value to the max, okay. So if you come from a programming background, this would be a bit clear, because there were multiple for loops also, where we used to make use of this to find the maximum value within an array or something like that. So if you are not from a programming background, still it's not very difficult to understand. See, how you have to understand it? If you have any condition, then you are going to add this in one curly brace. Okay, the condition, and whatever the assignation is, you have to do it here itself. Okay, and then in another curly brace you are going to print that particular thing or the maximum amount in this particular, using this particular file. So in this way we are working with it. Now again we have one more thing to work with, like the conditional thing. Okay, now we have data, right? So let's do cat data. Now if I want to print just the lines that have value greater than 20,000, or let's say the value greater than 40,000, okay, I want only those rows to be printed. Okay, so in that case what I can do is AWK. Okay, now within this curly braces only, if condition, over here we will be working with which column? With the fourth column, right? So 4, if it is greater than 40,000, then only you will have to print the whole record. Okay, of which file? Data. Enter. So now over here you can see that it is printing just for Tony as well as Atharva, since their salary is greater than this one, right? So in this way it is working fine. Now there is one more thing, that is looping concept. The same thing is present in AWK as well. Okay, but before that there's one more thing that I want to share, and that thing is that we have end that we used earlier, right? Now let's separately try to use it in this particular command. Print NR, in the sense the number of records, right? The number of rows or records. So for this particular file, now it is going to give me 5. Why? Because it is counting for 1, like this line as 1, this line as 2, following by 3, 4 as well as 5, and the end one is 5, right? So that's why it is giving me 5 as the output. Understood? So it's going from top to bottom till the end. That's all about it. Okay, now we are going to work with for loop. Okay, for loop is very easy if you know, if you have done some amount of programming. Okay, so let's say we have to begin. So keep in mind, like if you are starting from the top to bottom, then in that case you have to mention begin over there. Okay, so it knows like from where to start. So for loop I equals to 0, I less than or equal to, what do I want to achieve with this particular for loop is I want to print the values from 0 to 10. Okay, so let's say I plus plus, okay, bracket close over here, print I semicolon and colon and data. No, not data. Over here we won't be making use of any data. So it is going to print for all the these things from top, from 0 to 10. Okay, why? Because we have mentioned in here I equals to 0, I less than or equal to, this is the condition. Okay, so this is the initial value, this is the condition, and this is the iterator. So what happens is, if this initial value is 0 and it is it less than 10, less than or equal to 10? Yes, if it is less than or equal to 10, then it should print it. So it is printing 0. Now again, after this process we are incrementing it, right? So it will be, its value will be 1. So plus plus, in the sense we are increasing it by 1. So once it is greater than 1, we have added 1 in this, so it will become 1. So the value of I is 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 10? Yes, it is. So it is going to print. So then we have got 1 over here. Understood? Then again it will go back. It will be incremented once again by 1. So it will be 2 now. So is 2 less than or equal to 10? Yes, it is. So again it is going to print 2. So it will go till 10. Okay. Now when it goes till 10 and the value is printed, again when it comes, now the value is incremented by 1 once again. So it will be 11. But the condition is not getting fulfilled, right? So here itself the loop is going to break. So loop is going to print the values only when this particular condition is getting fulfilled. As soon as the condition doesn't match, it is going to break the loop and come out of it. Okay, so this is how it is for loop. Okay, so over here let me do cat first. Okay, so this is the file over here. Now over here you can see that the fields are separated by comma instead of space, right? So in this case what can be done is, we can just go for -f, and whatever delimiter which is used over here, it is comma. So I will put comma over here, and then after that we will be printing the values. Let's say the third column I want to print, okay, of this info.txt, enter. So it is going to print the third column for us, considering comma as a delimiter. So this was one thing which I wanted to share. So there are multiple things in AWK that you can implement, because there are multiple examples available. Whatever condition, according to the condition and the situation, you can manipulate your data with the help of this particular AWK. Okay, and if there are any kind of questions you have, you can type them in the comment section. We can come back and work on the same. Okay, we can dive deep into this as well. I will also try to attach a document into the description where we have all the commands that we have executed right here. Okay, so you don't have to just go through those commands in the video, but you will also have them handy and you can just run them and see how they actually work. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much and have a nice day.